It's the final 2 minutes. Your whole team is behind. The only way to win is steal Zapdos. How do you do it? Last hitting. What's up, everyone? Welcome to my channel, Hito99U, where it's my job to bring you to the 99th percentile. That's Masters in Pokemon Unite. And today is all about last hitting with Lucario. If you are still on that grind to Masters, I've got you covered with the fundamentals: items, builds, best combos, strategies. For my advanced Lucarios, I'm throwing down that data. I'm talking exact frame timings on combos and exact HP percentages for pulling off smites. These will get you perfect blast hits. It's such an underrated aspect of the game. It's literally the only way you get experience. Experience gets you levels, and level advantages are actually what wins the game. So in this video, I'll be covering 7 key fights across early, mid, and late game, where I'll break down both the best combo and the exact timing to win these last hits, snowballing you into victory. Or at the very least, you'll know how to steal Zapdos. So let's get into it. Last hitting boils down to 2 things. 1, you need to know your highest damage move or fast combo. This is called your smite. And 2, you need to know your timing. This starts with knowing how much damage your move chunks out of the enemy HP bar. Let's say you have a move that hits 40%. What you're gonna do is, as you're contesting a wild Pokemon and everyone's hitting it, you wait for 40%, boom, pull off your move, and you get the last hit. So those are the fundamentals of last hitting. Let's move to the next step, the pre-game and your items. For best last hitting results and just general Lucario dominance, you're gonna really wanna try out this build. It's Score Shield, Attack Weight, Muscle Band. Score Shield is a key item for Lucario. He is oftentimes a split pusher, or in lane, he can get those scores.
Scores give you more experience. We're doing last hitting video for getting experience because experience wins the game. That's a big part of it.
It combos with the attack weight because every time you score, you get more attack. And here's something that no one really talks about. Different moves have different scalers. So what does any of that mean? Lucario has individual moves that scale like 200, 300% effectively of his attack value. For a reference point, Venusaur is pulling like mid-50s for his percent of his main stat. They are not made equal. Lucario gets massive benefits from every 1 extra point of attack. This is why attack weight is key. And for the last item, we're going to be running Muscle Band. This pairs well with how Lucario is kind of a split pusher and helps you win those 1v1s, goes well with the Power Up Punch build. Now, items are subjective. We can make a whole separate video on this. I will definitely say Razor Claw is amazing, can go here, and even works better on the extreme speed build. But spoiler, this is a last hitting video. I'm gonna lean Power Up Punch. And hey, if you're completely lost and don't know what to run, the #1 player in the world runs this build, and there's a reason. It's good. Now there's the build, and my data is going to assume you have your attack weight and muscle band at level 30. This is very doable with all the items that came out from the mobile launch, and I would highly advise doing so if you're a Lucario main, because this build is awesome. Okay, to round out pre-game information, Lucario can be taken top or bottom lane.
And a quick side note on lanes. You might have seen this new meta coming out where people send 3 to the bottom and only 1 top. And yes, Lucario's really good at being the solo top in this situation, but the reality is 99% of you won't see this. This happens only in pre-made 5s at the highest level of Masters. I'm not even seeing this at like 1300, 1400, 1500, unless you QS5.
So with that said on the pre-game, first step here is to analyze what is our highest damage combo that is fast. Let's talk about that fast part now. The human reaction time is an average of like 200 to 250 milliseconds as per this human benchmark website. But that is taking people who are just focusing on doing one thing, clicking something when they see it become green. When you put in other factors like aiming a skill shot, processing the information of 2 opponents running and dancing around, the core fish spawning and moving all about, getting hit, getting stunned, we see that there's another test on that site that pulls it out closer to 400 milliseconds. There's a million different factors. So I've come up with 400 milliseconds as a barometer for how fast the combo needs to be so that it can't be easily reacted to. And yes, you can take this with a grain of salt. The higher your level, I mean, like if you're playing professional, you can knock this number down a bit, and there will be instantaneous moves that I'll provide as well. But trust me, the 400 millisecond stuff works all the way up to Masters. So let's get back to damage. Lucario has 4 moves at level 3. An auto attack, a boosted auto attack, quick attack, and then meteor mash. Using our barometer of 400 milliseconds, the fastest and hardest hitting combo is meteor mash into quick attack. It needs to be in that order because doing it the other way actually comes out slower. You want your 2 moves to almost hit at the same time, so it's like the 2 moves are 1. The meteor mash into quick attack combo does
982.
That's a lot. Clocks in at exactly 400 milliseconds or 24 frames. and has the added benefit of pushing. I mean, your opponent doesn't know where this thing is going to get pushed, and you do. You push it into the bush, and now all of a sudden they miss a skill shot. They don't know where it is. Not to mention, if you hit both the wild Pokemon and them with your Meteor Mash, it's basically like getting stunned. They can't do anything, and you can pull off the combo doing your full damage and getting the last hit. 4. Our first key fight in top lane, the Corphish at 940 on the game clock. Using our best level 3 combo, Meteor Mash into Quick Attack. I want you to focus on the enemy health bar and pull the trigger at exactly 71%. You want to win this. This is a contested minion that if the other enemy team is savvy, they're going to also be running straight towards and trying to fight you. And I hope you're seeing the damage on those pop-ups. I mean, this move is hitting right under 1,000. Everyone knows Lucario's good in lane, but now you know why, with math.
Knowledge is power!
Now your second target is the Apom. Couple quick notes. You're going to be fighting this thing like right after you fight the Corphish. So they're in the same timing window of 940 to 933. That's important because wild Pokemon health actually increases every 30 seconds, starting at 933 for whatever reason. Don't ask me why. 4. Our second key fight at top lane, the Apom. You'll be engaging this seconds after that Corphish at 940. You're using the same level 3 Lucario combo, Meteor Mash into Quick Attack, and I want you to look at the Apom's health bar and pull the trigger on your combo when it hits 57%. And now's a good time to bring up having a plan B when your best moves are on cooldown. You'll notice that this second Pokemon fight happens right after the first, so it might be that you can't pull off that Meteor Mash into Quick Attack. I'm going to be linking a cheat sheet down below that has all of your moves, starting with the best one and then other things you can pull off in case you're on cooldown. Also, sometimes this fight gets so hectic that these two Pokemon kind of get lumped up, and don't forget, Quick Attack covers like a decent amount of area and can sometimes hit both last hits. The Apom also gives more experience, so if you want to focus on one and you feel like you can get aggressive, go for their Apom first and then back into the Corphish. Just some things to think about. But that wraps up top lane, so let's talk about bottom. You're going to do the same thing. 2 Apoms, get to level 3. Your first minion actually spawns at 945, and every minion on bottom is an Audino. These things are tanky. So for our third key fight, your first as a bottom laner, you're going to be eyeing up the Audino, spawning at 945 or probably engaging it at 940 on the clock. Level 3, using your best Lucario combo, Quick Attack into Meteor Mash. I want you to look at that health bar, and when you see it hit 42%, pull the trigger, you get the last hit. And that wraps up your literal first fights as a top or bottom laner and the key last hits you need to secure to start getting an advantage. Over the next couple of seconds, you'll back up and get the rest of the experience on your lane, and then you're going to want to look for the next key fight at 850 on the clock. This is the bees.
Oh, no, not the bees! Not the bees!
So to recap, you're killing it. You won your first couple contested minions. Before bees spawn at 850, I want you to push your advantage and try to get at least one score in, so you get one score on your attack weight. That's the assumption I'm going to be making for your attack power coming into that bees fight at 850. If you have more scores, it's just going to make this easier. I'm going to try to give you conservative numbers, so the percentages I give you always work. If you're doing all this right, you'll be level 4 easy. Basically almost hitting level 5, and that's what we want you to get on the bees, level 5. This upcoming bees fight is hectic. There's a high chance that either your or the enemy jungler will get involved to help secure and maybe even kill the other team. Be careful because things are about to turn up. For our fourth and fifth key fights of the game at either top or bottom lane, you're going to be looking at 850 on the game clock, where both the Combee and Vespiquen spawn. Your level 4 Lucario with at least one stack on your attack weight, your best combo, which is still Meteor Mash into Quick Attack. So I want you to pull off, respectively, 73% for the Combee, 30% for the Vespiquen. And don't forget, I got that cheat sheet down below. This is a hectic fight. Of course, you're not going to be able to get perfectly the Combee and the Vespiquen. You got to prioritize one or the other. So I'll be giving you your next best move depending on what situation you find yourself in. So you're halfway through early game now, and this is going to end at minute 7, which is also your next big fight. So for this gap of time, I want you to push your advantage. You have won 5 last hits already, so you should be able to bully the other lane. Get all the wild Pokemon you can and get at least 2 more scores in, because I want your attack weight at least 3 stacks. That's what my data is going to be based on for the next fight. Get level 7. If you're top lane, that means staying top for 720. Bees will spawn. You want to get those. then rotate bottom at minute 7 because your next fight is Drednaw. If you're bottom, you'll just already be there, but still get the Bs. They're at 720 as well. You're going to have new moves now. Power Up Punch and Extreme Speed at level 5. And for level 7, you got Close Combat and Bone Rush. This video is all about last hitting, so you know my lean is going to be Power Up Punch. This is like the king of smiting moves. And if you're playing Lucario in the role of being a split pusher, that comes in for, you know, the team fights to secure those last hits and really like win the game at the key moments, you're going to want Power Up Punch, and I actually think that's his best build. Don't get me wrong, Extreme Speed is really flashy. You can zip, 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 zip on the enemy team, getting resets and like do team wipes and crazy stuff, but this is about last hitting, so we're doing Power Up Punch. And Bone Rush over Close Combat, so you can have that mobility for split pushing and also mobility for these key fights to get that last hit in there. Also, we have to table that concept of a 400 millisecond window. When we're fighting Drednaw and later Zapdos, I mean, there's damage flying in nonstop. In the course of 1 second, there's like 20 different sources of damage popping off. So you can't count on reactions. You just need one hit and to make sure you actually win the smite. And that's what Lucario is here for. He is One Punch Man. Here are the key things to know about Power Up Punch. It takes 60 frames to charge. That's 1 full second. You'll get used to this timing as you use it a lot. It only hits the first thing you come in contact with. So be careful if you're at Drednaw trying to steal it that you don't get blocked by an enemy Pokemon. Be precise. This move does give you unstoppable, but you first need to get the plus form at level 11. So don't forget that until you're level 11, you are not unstoppable. You need to be sure you don't get crowd controlled while you're trying to time that last hit with the Power Up Punch. Be careful. You can do a trick to extend the range, and you saw me do this in the opening clip of this video. The combo is that you charge the Power Up Punch and then you release and hit eject button right then. You'll extend the range. It's a good one. Oh, and here's a final bonus note. It has an execute. You savvy Lucario players probably know about this, why it gets stronger as you hit a target that has lower health. It's based on the missing health of your target. I've made sure to include this percentage in my formula, both the execute portion of the damage and the base damage that the move does based on your attack weight, stacks, and everything else. So just trust me when I say I got exact percentages for you on Drednaw and Zapdos. So let's get into it. For our 6th key fight at the Southern Beach, it's none other than Drednaw. This is at minute 7. And now we have one move, the coveted Power Up Punch. I want you at level 7 using this with 3 stacks of attack weight, not getting crowd controlled and not missing. You're going to be looking at Dred's health bar, and exactly when you see 16%, you fire it off, you steal Dred, you're a hero. Yo, and that's big. Once you get the first Dred, you're way ahead in levels. Your whole team can snowball that advantage, and it begins here. You want to get the rest of the stacks of your attack weight, 6 in total, and I want you to make sure you count 2 minutes from when you just defeated Dred will be the next one. You want to get that one also to keep your advantage. And then hopefully you shouldn't need Zapdos because you're so far ahead. But you know, sometimes your team just goes and does it and you can't control them, or somehow you throw that lead and you need this to win. Let's get into that. All right, guys, this is the last one, the big kahuna, the 7th key fight. It is Zapdos. 2 minutes on the game clock. We're going to be using Power Up Punch. I want you to fully charge this thing. At this point, I want you to have 6 stacks on your attack weight, and you have unstoppable for this punch, so they can't stop you. Just don't die, get it charging, and I want you to look at that health bar, and once it hits 11%, you hit it and you win, and now you're really a hero. Now, if you made it this far in the video, I really appreciate you. This is my first one. I'm very interested in doing this for other Pokemon, or maybe expanding it for other aspects of the game. Let me know that in the comments down below. Guys, I did at least 100 test matches and countless hours in Excel, nerding out formulas, figuring out stuff. Shout out to Unite Database. They had some good formulas over there that helped me do some of this, and it was tough. So I would appreciate it if you liked this video, if this helped, and subscribe if you're interested in me doing the next Pokemon. It could be your main. And don't forget, I have the cheat sheet down below, and we'll figure out what we're going to talk about in the next video. Thanks, everyone.